Good morning, all of you. I would like to start by introducing myself. My name is Achyutan. I am from Group 37. Today, I would like to talk about a substitute for plastic water bottle. This is a group presentation. Our group have 5 members: Dorian, Nadira, Ashary, Afnan, and me. Then I move to the next slide. In this presentation, we will cover the introduction of a disposal for plastic water bottle. What are the raw materials of the product? What are the properties? What are the available alternative? What are the proposed alternative? Discussion with the product and the total conclusion of the project. Then I move to the next slide. Plastic bottles are used to carry the liquid that is we are using for our day-to-day life. There are so many bad impact of environmental, economical, social problems to the world. Due to this harmful impact of these plastic bottles, we have decided to take an alternative of this project. Substitute must minimize those harmful impact without affecting the quality and the properties of the product. In this project, finding out a substitute for disposal water bottle is the main goal of this project. Then I move to the next slide. In this slide, we will cover the raw material of the product. The most common plastic used for disposal bottles are PET plastic. The cap of the bottle contains 2.5% of polypropylene and 2.5% of high-density polyethylene. The body of the bottle contains 94% of polyethylene terephthalate. The label of the bottle contains 0.5% of polypropylene and 2.5% of high-density polyethylene. All the raw materials are non-renewable. Then I would like to call my friend Nadira to continue the remaining part.
Thank you, Achyutan. Now I will be explaining the properties of the product. First, the first property is clarity. The surface of the plastic bottles is clear, just like in glass bottles. Next property is the moisture barrier. The property of plastic bottles doesn't allow moisture into water stored inside the water bottle, and it helps the water inside to be fresh. The third property is maximum commercial use temperature. These plastic bottles have higher melting point, so we can use these plastic bottles in a maximum temperature day too. The next property is rigidity. Plastic bottles are very stiff compared to glass bottles. We can't break glass bottles, so it is very safe to store water in plastic bottles than in glass bottles. Next property is resistance to impact. Plastic has the ability to resist both fracture and deformation when a temporary force is applied. The next property is durability. Plastic bottles will take long time of period to decompose, and we can use it for a long time. And also, we can use it for different purposes. The next property is inexpensiveness. Plastic bottles are very low in cost and can be affordable by many people. The last property is transparentness. Plastic bottles are very transparent and it helps to see through the bottle. So we can confirm that the quality of the water is assured inside. Next, I will be explaining how plastic bottles are made. First of all, plastic bottles are made by the raw material polyethylene tetraphthalate. It is taken from petroleum hydrocarbons. Then we make them into pellets. After the pellets are made, we put it into an injection molding machine. Inside the injection molding machine, we heat the raw materials up to a temperature of 315 degrees Celsius. Then they turn into a thick liquid. After that, it is shooted with high pressure into a mold. These molds are known as preforms. After the preforms are cooled, we put it into a stretch blower molder. In here, as it is heating, we can customize the product as we desire. After the disposable plastic bottle is made, we package it and transport it throughout the world. Then I would like to invite my friend Afnan to continue.
Thank you, Nadira, for giving the chance. And I am Afnan. I would like to talk about what are the uses and application of plastic bottles. We know that mainly used for the plastic bottles to store the water and store the soft drinks. We can make decorative items with empty bottles after one-time usage. And we can use empty bottles to planting the tree and produce the products that by recycling the plastic bottles. And I move to the next slide. And I want to talk about the problem of the product. As we can see, there are 5 stages of the problem. And first stage is raw material mining. We can see raw material mining will contribute environment, social and economical impact. Environmental problem is destroy natural habitats and air pollution. And social problem is causes health problems to the society and non-sustainability. And economical problem is high machinery cost and investment risk. And I move to second stage, transportation. And the economic and environmental problem is global warming and noise pollution. And social problem is health impact. There are lung pain, asthma, chest pain. Some impacts will be health. And economical problem is scarcity and choice and basic economic problems. And I move to the next slide. Third stage is manufacturing. In here, environmental problem is smoke and noise problem and emission of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. And social problem is child labors. This impact is huge problem to the children. And economically, high cost for maintenance. This is also the problem while manufacturing. And while usage is the fourth stage of this problem. In environmental problem is not properly manage the waste. And social problem is causing health issues. And economically, spending more money to one-time use. And I move to the next slide. Finally, the stage is disposal. And when disposal the water bottles, environmental problem is air pollution, chemical releases into the water. And social problem is effect of the marine lives and their food chain. And economical problem is investing more money to buy the machineries and build the factory to dispose the water bottles. And I would like to call Ashary to talk about the rest of the part. Thank you.
Thank you, Afnan. Now I will explain about what are the alternatives that we have on behalf of the plastic bottles. Nowadays, we are hearing many problems about plastic bottles, as mentioned in previous slides. By that, we want to reduce those problems to live a healthy life. As you can see here, these are the alternatives that we have, such as glass bottles, stainless steel bottles, paper bottles, aluminum bottles, bottles made by decaying wood, and bottles made by fibrous plants. Can you move to the next slide, please? Now I'll explain about what is our proposed alternative. By considering environmental, economical, and social impacts, from these alternatives, we have selected paper bottles as a best alternative. The paper bottles are made from plant fibers. There are some reasons why we have choose paper bottles as the best alternative. They are, if we consider manufacturing process, paper bottles emits less carbon dioxide to the atmosphere when compared to the other alternative, such as glass bottles, stainless steel bottles. Therefore, we can reduce health problems and environmental impacts. Then we are able to reduce carbon footprint of this product also. By considering raw materials, we can dispose the paper bottles without any environmental pollution. The last one is about cost. The cost of the paper bottles are less than plastic bottles. Now I will invite Durian to explain the rest part of the presentation.
Thank you, Ashary, and I am going to tell about the discussion part of our project. As you see, we are facing so many bad impacts in social and environmental due to the heavy usage of plastic bottles. So we decided to choose an alternative solution to plastic bottles. So in that way, we selected paper bottles as an alternative for plastic bottles, and we selected paper bottles because they are 100% recyclable and it will reduce the carbon footprint. And in the life cycle stages of paper bottles, it will never pollute the environment and will not create any problems to social also. So we can reduce the CO2 amount in environment also. And when it's come to the performance of the paper bottles, we can say that the performance of paper bottles are equal to performance of plastic bottles. And we are making these paper bottles as stronger as the plastic bottles, and we are ensure that there is no leakage in paper bottles. And the durability of the paper bottles are also equal to the durability of plastic bottles. And when it comes to cost, these paper bottles are affordable and it is easy to use also. And when we move to the conclusion, we can say that in the need of reducing the environmental, social, and economical problems caused by plastic bottles, we choose paper bottles as an alternative. And we hope that this alternative will reduce the problems caused by plastic bottles and will lead a great future to the next generation. And it will protect us from the environmental pollutions also. These are some references we use to do this project. Thank you.